Hey there. So I'm seeing a lot of people online talking about how they can cut down on their grocery expenses and save money, and having a lot of fear around the increasing costs of food. And I want to give you a couple tips and a little insight because I think what we tend to do is not really have a whole picture as to where that money's going. We see the price of eggs going up and we're like, I'm not buying eggs anymore. But that is probably not the best way to save money, and it's certainly not the best way to prioritize your health, because egg yolks are one of the best sources of choline, which is a hard to get nutrient. The best source of it is in organ meat like kidneys and liver, but most people don't eat those. So if you're not eating egg yolks on a regular basis, the chances are you're probably not getting enough. So what do you do about all of the expense that's happening in the economy and grocery bills and food costs, particularly if you have a big family? So here's the thing that I want to share. One of the things that my clients tell me regularly is they're afraid to spend money on themselves working with me, but then they say, you know what? Over a year, I've saved more money on food by working with you than I actually spent on working with you. Because this is the thing that we're not realizing about our grocery budget. The food that we bring in to cook and the food that we eat are very different things. Many of us are stopping at restaurants, fast food, grocery store, convenience stores, coffee shops, all throughout the week. And we're not really realizing that we're spending $8 here, $12 there. And those little snacky pit stops add up. The other thing that we're not realizing is food delivery. I mean, I rarely get food delivered. It's usually if my husband's the one who cooks mostly, if he doesn't want to cook and the kids really want pizza or ramen or something that we don't make. It's a rare thing, but we'll get food, and it can be like $70 just for 3 people, $100 if we actually order from somewhere that I would eat, which is maybe twice a year. Well, I get takeout food because most of it is just not high enough quality for me, because I'm a bit of a food snob, if you didn't know. So when you think about the delivery fees that are just like crazy, and then the tip, and if you're doing that once a week or twice a week, I mean, I often think to myself, like if we spent $100 getting delivery for a family of 4, that is 3 pounds of filet mignon. I love filet mignon, and I don't buy it all the time because it is so expensive. Same with king salmon, which is one of my favorite cuts of salmon, super rich and fatty. It's about $30 a pound, right up there with filet mignon. But then, we don't think twice about getting takeout for 4 people. So I really want you to consider, when you're thinking about your food costs, I don't just want you to think about groceries. I want you to think about all of the money you're spending on little snacks and treats and popcorn at the movies and packages of this and that, and then takeout. So that's one big part. The next big part is packaged food. If you are buying cookies, crackers, potato chips, muffins, any of this stuff, frozen entrees, all of this processed food is expensive. And if you can simplify your groceries by getting a protein and a vegetable primarily, keeping food super simple, get a baked potato, get a baked sweet potato. You don't have to buy things in packages. You just have to buy staple items. And then when you start doing that, not only are you saving hundreds and hundreds of dollars not buying this packaged food, but you also can then shop more locally. So if you're just buying fruits and vegetables and meats and fishes, go to your farmer's market. Find out, Google in your neighborhood where there's a egg co-op and get stuff that is local, and then you'll save even more money because you're not paying for transportation. I get a lot of my meats locally and my vegetables, but I also just get some of my grass-fed meats shipped in the United States. And there are so many great companies that do food in bulk and give discounts and have sales. And I find really good prices, but I also don't really buy any junk. So even though the quality of my food might be more expensive, I'm still spending less than the average person per month because I'm not going out to dinner often. I'm not getting takeout often. I'm not stopping and getting a Starbucks. I'm not grabbing a bag of chips when I get gas. None of that. Like Dr. Bickman, my favorite insulin scientist, says, stay away from bags, boxes, and barcodes. That's the stuff that's really expensive. It is not eggs. When you look at the quality of the protein in an egg, 6 or 7 grams of protein in one tiny little egg, and that egg, even if you're paying $6 a dozen, is only 50 cents. You're not getting that much quality protein in a $2.50 protein bar, by the way. You're not getting that much quality protein in an entire can of garbanzo beans or an entire tub of hummus, because the amino acids in animal proteins are better absorbed, more bioavailable, and they have the correct amino acid that builds muscle. So you can get high protein foods, but are they the kind of protein that's going to help you build muscle? And that is what we as women in midlife and older need to really be focusing on. You're going to have to eat a hell of a lot of beans to get enough of the amino acid leucine to activate your muscle. You only need to eat a couple eggs. And because we don't need a lot of carbohydrate or calories as we get older, we have to be thinking about concentrated sources of protein. We want to be eating protein that has more protein than anything else. And a lot of foods on the market, a lot of vegetarian sources of protein, a lot of packaged sources. So like protein ice creams, protein bars, protein chips, there's protein everything now. You get like 7 grams in a 200 calorie serving. Or a protein bar, sometimes they're 250 calories and you're getting 7 to 10 grams of maybe not even high quality protein. And because protein only has 4 calories per gram, if you're getting 7 grams, that means that's 28 calories. 28 calories of that 250 calories is coming from protein. That is not a high protein food, yet it's called a protein bar. So the moral of the story is, when you eat cottage cheese and Greek yogurt and meats and fishes and eggs, you are getting a very high protein, high quality protein food. So you get a lot of bang for your buck. It has got all the nutrients you need. Throw in some high quality vegetables and some high quality fruits. You're good to go. Eat some avocados. You've got all the great fat in the fatty fish, the meats and the eggs that you need. You don't need much else. The thing that makes us buy the bags, the boxes, and the barcodes isn't need, it's want. We want the crunch, we want the cheesy goodness, we want the flavor, we want the sugar, we want all the yummy things. And that's what I teach in my program, is how to want those things less. But you can't want them less psychologically until you satisfy your body physiologically with essential proteins, fats, and nutrients. Once all of its needs have been met, then your brain can go, oh, why do I want that? And then we can start to work on your mindset around, why do you want all these things that aren't even good for you? It's not like we want to bite. right? It's not like, oh, well, they just taste so good. Well, if that's really the reason you want them, have a bite or two or three of ice cream. Have a bite or two or a cookie. Have a couple chips. It's not how it works. We say it's because of the flavor, but then we have to eat 5 cookies or a bag of chips or a half a container of ice cream. That has nothing to do with flavor. That is like saying, oh, I just love the taste of wine, and then you drink a whole bottle. If you love the taste of wine, have a small glass with dinner. I love the taste of wine. Sometimes I'll just have a sip because I just want to taste it. If I have a bottle of wine, I'm meeting a different want. And so we have to really be honest with ourselves about why we're choosing these things. But in terms of cost, I want you to write down for a month or a week every single cent you spend. A $13 cocktail out, oh, a bag of this, a basket of that, and then really look at what your food intake bill is, not just your grocery bill, but look at what you're actually spending on consumption, and then ask yourself, how much filet mignon could I buy for that? How many eggs could I have? How much asparagus? I mean, you can really go to town with that food bill when you cut out all the things that your body doesn't actually need. If you want to dive deep into this, apply for my program, message me, let's talk. And you could be free from wanting all the things so that you can focus on what your body actually needs, so you can have the body that you want as you age. Have a great day.